Katie, and I'd like to tell you a story. So this story takes place several years ago when I was finishing my PhD in child development, and my husband and I adopted our second child, our beautiful daughter. At the time, she was 33 months old and didn't speak a word of English, and as we soon came to realize, she had some pretty extensive developmental delays. So I decided at the time that my job as her mother was to provide her with the enriching educational experiences that she was going to need to overcome her delays and eventually catch up to her peers. So thanks to my professional and educational background in language and literacy development, I knew that letter knowledge was going to be one of the most key pieces of pre-literacy knowledge that she was going to need to eventually become a proficient reader. Now, in my next video, I'll go into more details about exactly how and why letter knowledge is so important, but suffice it to say for right now that letter knowledge is extremely key. So I also knew that if she was going to learn her letters and eventually learn to read, I was going to have to teach her in a fun, hands-on, developmentally appropriate, multisensory way. So I got really busy. I started teaching homeschool preschool with my children, and during our homeschool preschool hours, I engaged my daughter in engaging and enriching activities that was helping her to learn to recognize the letters. And as she started recognizing more and more letters, I came up with creative ways to teach the letter sounds. And after she started knowing a lot of her letter sounds, I started introducing like hands-on multisensory ways to practice letter formation. So little by little, she learned her lowercase letters and her uppercase letters, and she did it all with no boring worksheets, no tears, and no arguments. Really, she just learned her letters through fun, hands-on, and engaging activities. And I think if you had asked her at the time, she would have just said she was playing. She didn't know that she was, learning. So today my daughter is 7 years old, and she knows the alphabet, and she's well on her way to becoming a proficient reader. And I think much of the reason she's doing as well as she is today is thanks to the investment that I made in helping her learn the alphabet. So one thing I want to clarify, because you see when researchers talk about a child who knows the alphabet, they're talking about a child who has developed knowledge and skills in 4 separate areas. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about what those 4 separate areas of letter knowledge are, and a little bit more about how you can incorporate those with your children. So until next time, keep learning and keep having fun.